Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I am your host, Dennis Patholakis, and tonight I'm doing Future Man Season 2, Episode 3, A Wolf in the Torque House. Again, this is another great episode. If you haven't seen it, sign up for Hulu, man. It's a free 30-day trial. Season 1 is up. All of Season 2 is up. Great series. Just a great series if you haven't seen it already. I can't say enough about it. Honestly, it's probably one of the best sci-fi comedies out there. It's the way you should be writing sci-fi comedy, unlike another show that I dropped last night. So, with that said, I'm going to say spoiler alert. I am going to spoil the episode. So if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Like I said, you can sign up for free. You can come on back. This is going to be a video. You can leave comments down in the comment section. And, you can like or dislike this video, however you like to do it. So, and I want to thank everybody that's in the chat tonight as well. So we come to with Wolf. Penn Farm Girl says, "Are you talking about Dennis Phoebe?" Oh, what are you talking about there, Penn Farm Girl? No, I dropped a show last night that I'm not doing any longer. I'm not doing the Orville any longer. That's what I was talking about dropping. So sand brain, exactly. I have a little bit of sand brain myself. Happens from time to time. So Wolf wakes up in the Nag, that's the new above ground, and as Torque. And he's surrounded by 5 people who are asking him all these questions. And he's asking for Tiger, and they're like, it's okay, the Tiger can't get you anymore. And he's, of course, been shot. He still has his wounds on there, and he's being healed by a doctor in the lightest sense of the term. She's putting like these chewed up roots on his body and making him walk around in order to get his blood pumping, because you can't rest while you're shot. You need to actually you need to move around to get that blood pumping. So and I love how he starts playing along with it at some point. He starts working into it, because Wolf already knows this, that you have to play along with whatever timeline you're in now, even though the timelines change and you remember an alternate timeline. And he says this about Back to the Future back in season 1. He brings about a very good point, is that Marty McFly basically had to fake his way through every single conversation afterwards. And it's one of those things, I've had this discussion before, is how it would suck to have your whole timeline change. You're the only one that remembers the old timeline. Now you're in this new timeline, and you have to fake it, in order to do this. Yeah, Dr. Quinn, medicine killer. Yeah, that's actually Dr. Finn, quack surgeon on the Orville. But there we go. And I love how he's talking about, they pumped me full of drugs. They gave me this white powder that made me a little crazy. And they took me to this place called the Viper Room, where they subjected me to sonic sounds and my tormentor Slash. Which I was dying about that, man. That he's, talking about being fed drugs and everything, which he did all on his own. And that Slash, he knew him and, partied with him and all kinds of people at the Viper Room, which just made me laugh. I love when everyone starts laughing and the doctor comes and says, "No laughter. Everyone knows it's the worst medicine." So he comes in and learns that global warming's destroying the planet, and that these biotechs, now is what they're called, want to leave the planet on a space wagon to go to live on one of the sky sparkles. Those dummies didn't know that sky sparkles only exist 12 hours out of the day. Which is Mars, by the way. So that's the sky sparkle that they're going to live on. And they want nothing to do with it. So he also learns that he's married to 5 people and has a daughter. Yeah, he's married to 2 dudes and 3 women. So yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yes, it was. Yeah, they forced him to take drugs. Exactly. So his five spouses, he learns that everyone has a certain task within the cluster, is what they're called. And the cluster came about is no one was able to have children. And then suddenly people started having children, but it was very slow coming about. So what people did is they got together in groups of 7 at first because they didn't know any better. And so then they moved it down to 6 because 7 was a little too unmanageable. And so 6 people per child is what they have going on. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Slurmy Scott. I don't know why they're going to Mars and leave Earth behind. It just seemed weird as well. I mean, there's no water. Yes. The sewing. I'll get to that in a little bit, Viking bitch, about the sewing circle. Oh man, there's just so much good stuff on this. And so his 5 spouses, he learns that everyone has a certain task, and that Lathe is the one that cleans and cooks for everyone. Thimble is the teacher. Hatchet is the disciplinarian of the group. Rake, she is the fun one out of the group. And Level is the one that keeps everyone on task. And Lugnet is their kid. And Level had this is her second cluster she's been in, because she was captured before by some group that forced her to watch while her other cluster got eaten alive. So, which kind of screwed with her mind a little bit, but then she came out of it okay. Yeah, you're just a big old bag of fun, is what Wolf says about Rake. And so he's inside talking to Lugnet while the spouses are outside, and they're discussing how Torque has changed. And they said, well, he could be a clone, or we don't know what kind of deviltry the biotechs have done. And it could not be, it may not be our Torque that came back, which they don't know the truth of it. But yeah. So Wolf is looking at the pictures that his daughter has drawn, and she's made these crude crayon drawings, of course, and he's starting to encourage her. And then he also talks her into drawing a map of the Nag so he can get around, because, of course, he's got the sand brain, doesn't really know too much about what's going on around him. And he's the provider of the group. Torque is supposed to be the provider of the group, and he's supposed to be making wheels for chits. Now, chits are actually keyboard keys. And they show him a jar full of chits, and they go, do you know what these are? And Wolf looks and goes, yeah, I do, but what do you think they are? They're chits, and that's what we need, and we're running low. The chitty jar is running low, so he needs to go and make some more chits for them. So just before he leaves for work, and Thimble's going to take him, over to his work as she's walking Lugnet to school. They all have to kiss him goodbye. And as he says, I've been quintupled rat-holed. Which you think he lived through the 90s. He did a lot worse things with his mouth in the 90s than kissing. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And he says, he's ready for work, even though he's still injured. And they said, oh, you'll be ready for the sewing circle. You may even be ready for the sewing circle in a couple of nights. And he's like, yeah, he goes, I'll be ready. And they're all happy about it. We don't know what the sewing circle is. Or sewing night, excuse me. Sewing circle is a different thing altogether. But that happens during the sewing night. So, yeah. Thimble tells him that, about how clusters came to be, of course, during this whole thing. And then he runs into one of his old soldiers that is now a farmer. And he's like, oh, that cat fucker really knew her way around a flamethrower. And Lugnet goes, what's a flamethrower? And what's a cat fucker? Immediately, you can tell from this episode that whoever wrote this episode was watching a lot of Monty Python, especially The Meaning of Life. That's what I got out of this, too, is... the cat fucker one, makes me laugh too, Viking bitch. And chuckle fucks as well. Do we like each other? That's a no. Yeah, exactly. So Wolf ends up going into his wheel shop, and bumps into his apprentice briefly and doesn't say anything to him really, and walks his way out, takes the map, and is trying to find his way around to an exit. And he runs into Wrench again, who he knows is Weasel. And the guy who is with Wrench actually is supposed to be Torque's best friend, but he doesn't know him at all. And he's trying to get his way. He's trying to get out, of course, of the nag. And they're like, nope, it's on lockdown. Ever since you and the purple-haired woman, brought you in, and we're all on lockdown now. And so he's talking about Tiger, trying to find out more about where she went and everything. He's not getting anything out of this, and just that Wrench got his ass handed to him by her, and that's it. He can't get out of the nag, or he's unwilling to kind of try to get out of the nag. We know he could if he really, really wanted to, because he is Wolf after all. We also find out that the biotechs are also called the Choop, or the chosen people. And it's as he's trying to explain all this to Wrench and this guy at the nag entrance, we see that Hatchet has overseen everything from up above, because he's really suspicious about Torque at this point. So Wolf extracts himself from the cluster pile that he's in the next morning to go and pee. And of course, Hatchet catches a glimpse of Wolf/Torque's penis and notices that it's Josh's dick that's on him, not Wolf's dick that he normally has. And is very surprised. He's got a very surprised face to it. So it's pretty damn funny. So he goes back to the wheel shop and meets Pump and his apprentice, and he goes, "Are we friends?" And Pump's like, and he goes, "That's a no." And so he's pumping Pump for information about another tunnel to get out of there. And he finds out that basically he needs to get 50 chits, and he can go to the old below ground and get led through there in order to get out. And of course, Pump's really reluctant, of course, to lead him this way, because that's what started all this trouble in the first place 2 years ago when Torque disappeared. We're pretty sure that Torque is dead. I don't think Torque, Wolf's other in this reality, what Wolf is actually is alive. Although it'd be nice if he does pop up. It'd be kind of interesting. So we also have a little I forgot to mention there, we also had a little talk between Wolf and Lugnut about Colonel Worm and Captain Crow, and how Colonel Worm, it was a story that they used to tell about all these adventures that Colonel Worm would get out of the nag and go above ground, how these adventures, with all of that. And so he obviously has told Lugnut that he's gotten out of the nag every now and then and has disappeared. So he finds out that he needs to make more wheels in order to get more chits so he can get the hell out of there. So he and Pump are starting to make all these wheels. And I love that one of the stone wheels actually catches fire during the montage. We have a montage set to Wheel in the Sky by Journey as they're building wheels. And yeah, it's a cheesy thing, but it just made me laugh. But the stone wheel catching on fire just made me fucking laugh. I don't know why. It really did. They finally get one to work, and he's like, "All right, got the wheel made. How much can we sell this for?" And Pump says, "1 chit." Everything in the nag is worth 1 chit. And he's like, shit. So, all right, we're going to close this up. And in the morning, we're going to get working on 49 more wheels. So, yeah. And I did love that, Pump says once word gets around that Torque's wheelhouse is open again, we're going to be we're open for business. We're going to be rolling in chit. The writing of this I swear, man, it just makes me laugh. It's childish, but at the same time, it's smart, and it's damn funny. It really is. And we also find out that Pump doesn't have his own cluster, so he's going to be on muffled duty for sewing night. We don't know what that is yet, but we will find out in a little bit here. So Wolf comes back to the house and realizes that sewing night is not SEW, it's SOW. And it means it's sex night, because it's the basically the night that everyone has sex to create more children. And so all the children are out of the house, and the people that are not in clusters are in charge of making them sing this song really loud so that they can't hear the orgies that their parents are having. Yeah, he did come home early. And I love how Level says, okay, let's keep the cum radius to 3.2. No anal until after the first wheelbarrow. Then it's all anal. Everything, slam, anal, anal, anal. And then she says, and then, of course, we have Hatchet that says, TikTok, show us your penis. That's what he says to Wolf. And Wolf is just standing there. He's really doesn't know what to do. And he's like, all right, fine, fuck it. He drops his pants. They all gasp because, of course, it's not his penis that's on him. And he just has this outpouring of, and very poetically talking about all this shit that he's been through, time travel, the war, everything like that. And finally, look at it, face it, look at it. Is what he says, because they're trying to, don't look away, look at it. And finally, when you think they're just going to throw him out, they think he has, Sam brain. And of course, it's been tortured for 2 years by the Pyotechs. And they accept him, and they accept him as he is, and his small penis. And as Thimble says, let's find a hole for that small dick. And the song the kids are singing, I swear it's the Every Sperm is Sacred song from The Meaning of Life, Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. If you haven't seen that movie, watch it. It's hilarious. It's just every bit as dirty as that song. And at one point, there's a lyric that says, "Squirt, squirt in the ground. What will grow, a boy or girl?" It was just a weird line out of that song that just made me laugh every time. And they played it at the very end of the episode too, when the credits are rolling. And I kind of really want to get that. I don't know, and have it on loop someplace. And want to, if I could actually run it on here without getting a copyright strike, I would love to do it because it's damn funny. Yeah, Pen Farm Girl, that's what it reminded you of. It's totally from Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. That was the first thing that hit me in the head when it happened, because all the kids sitting in the pile there, on the that pyramid of crap or whatever that they were sitting on and singing, was the exact same way they were doing it in heaven when they're singing the Every Sperm is Sacred song. So yeah, and oh my god, when that movie came out, The Meaning of Life, it so many protests by so many different religious groups. Yeah, it once you hear that song, it never leaves your head. Yes, it's there forever. So we see Wolf extract himself afterwards from the pile of from Lathe and Hatchet that are laying on top of him, because the other girls are wrapped up in some kind of weird saran wrap thing and are on inverted tables a little bit so that the sperm can do its job. And he loads up on whatever chits that are in the house, and he's about to leave when Lugnut catches him and says, "Are you leaving again, Papa Torque?" And she goes, "Here, take this." And she has a feather. It's the magic feather that Colonel Worm had in order to go on these adventures. And he goes, "Nope, I'm not leaving. Let's get you to bed." And that's where we leave off, as he puts her back. He's putting her back into bed. And it looks like Wolf has gone native at this point. Great episode, fun episode again. And we get a little bit more about what's going on with this world, where this world has evolved and what kind of weird shit has happened. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, all the stuff that they're doing, the wordplay that they have in here, it's really good. I mean, they did a really good job. And exactly, Mufinobi, good shows develop characters well. Torque, Wolf, and Lugnut form a good bond in the series with very little time. Exactly. It's 25 minutes, this episode. This episode is 25 minutes long. Their screen time together is maybe 4 minutes. And I had more belief of that than an entire season of Orville. Yeah, and Viking Bitch, I did love how they're all lying in bed like a pile of puppies. with their foot in his face, and yeah, oh my god. Yeah, movie Finobi, that line, think of grandma, make it last. Yeah. Yeah, it's not just good writing, it's good acting too. I mean, Derek, who plays Wolf, is great in this. I love I absolutely love wolf centric episodes now. The wolf centric episodes are so crazy, so far and beyond what anything I've seen on TV before, that it just makes me laugh every time I see it. Uh, yeah, he's good, and I want to see him in more stuff. Him and Eliza, I want to see in more stuff. It's some good stuff. And I did sneak ahead. I saw episode 4 earlier. That's why I'm a little bit late, because I actually had watched episode 4 before having to go back and rewatch episode 3 so I could take some notes so I can get to this. So that's why I'm a little bit late. Sorry. Rolling in shit, yeah. Oh man. Oh wow. Yeah, movie Finobi's getting in trouble there too. I'd rather earn clits than chits, and then of course Viking bitch calling him on that. That's a good call. uh yeah, Viking bitch Wolf did put up very little resistance to leaving. I love how he, finally says, "My name is Wolf," and he says his soldier number, and he collapses to the floor in front of them, and they accept him as Wolf. So, yeah, and Viking Bitch, I'm so glad that Hulu is actually, advertising the show. They're advertising it in prime time of Fox during Orville, which is perfect. That is actually the perfect place to advertise this. That is a good target demographic that they're doing that with. And quite honestly, it's one of the best sci-fi comedies out there right now. I'm talking about Future Man, you know. Unlike what's happening with Counterpart, Counterpart's getting no love whatsoever, no advertising. Stars keeps pushing that piece of shit Outlander show, which is on like its 58th season or something like that, with it seems like the same season over and over and over again. So, and yet they won't do anything original for the Counterpart show. Yeah, they definitely are advertising, which is good. And I believe season 3, they haven't said whether or not they have a season 3 in the works or not. I know Derek keeps talking about it on Twitter. Eliza talks about it a little bit, and so does Josh on Twitter. I've been following them and seeing what's happening. So, oh my God. Movie Finobi, you're going to get yourself in trouble, man. You really are. Yeah, exactly. So, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you like what you see here, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, or hit the dislike button if you don't like what's going on down here. If you want to see when I'm going to be doing my next podcast, hit the notification bell down below there. There's a little bell off on the side. And tomorrow, Saturday morning, 10 a.m., is going to be the Saturday morning blast off, where I do all of the genre news for the week, trailers, what have you, and whatever else you guys want to talk about genre wise. So definitely take a look at that. And I'm on my way to 100. I'm working my way up to the 100 mark, slowly but surely. I'm doing Counterpart on Sunday as well. And then I'm going back and doing the Passage. The Passage, yes. Episode 2 of that on Monday. I believe Future Man episode 4 is going to be it's episode 4 on Tuesday, and then Deadly Class on Wednesday, and then we're going to go to Gotham on Thursday, and again Future Man episode 5 on Friday. So, and I did see Glass today, Pen Farm Girl. I love Glass. I'll be talking about that tomorrow. It's just as good as Unbreakable as far as I'm concerned. It's really damn good. If you haven't seen Glass, go out and see it. It's very well worth the money. It's the same pacing as Unbreakable. So, thank you, Movie Finobi. Yeah, I know it's been a very short time that I've been on, and that's that's what I want to do. Is I wanted to hit my marks here. Like I said before, if I don't hit my time marks that I need to be on, it throws off my rest of my schedule. I'm a very schedule driven person, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you depend on looking at it. Yes, the movie Viking Bitch. Sorry, yeah, Glass, which is really good. Split, I wasn't too keen on. I was like, okay, just because it was tied in. But now seeing everything tied together was really damn good. That's all I can say. I hope there's more. That's all I can say. I just hope there's more of this world that he's put together. So with that said, you're going to see a subscribe button up over here. You're going to see some videos over here that are going to match up from my videos of what you may like according to your interests. Subscribe, like, take a look at my Facebook page. I'm on Facebook under Suspended Fanimation. I've also got a web page, suspendedfanimation.com, which has my schedule. Both of those have my schedule up. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. So I'm all over the place there. Eventually I'll get on iTunes. I just need to sit down and read how to move things over to iTunes there. So with that, again, look at the subscribe button over here. Look at the videos over here. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up in a cluster of people.